Oseo.
Oseo.
Good, Cherokee greeting. Right now, we're looking at the winter solstice. And at this time, every year, of the solstices, I usually have this similar presentation. And there's a couple of items in this that usually is very surprising to people. One, Celtic people. Celtic people have been here in Turtle Island for a very, very long time. And also Celtic people have systems of writing, and some of those systems are evident here all over the North American continent, from Canada to San Diego to, well, I can go on. This particular one is called Ogham. It is not a phonetic type of writing. It's more what we call digital, by so many strokes or dots. And also that people that the Americans here know as the Navajos of Arizona, their real name is the Dene, and their relatives live over there in Khotan in West Central Asia by the same name. And that these people, the Dene, events Celtic elements in their culture and in their language. Either they are the Celtic people of old, or they have brought them, they're integrated with them. Okay, now several years ago, maybe 20, 30 years ago, I have found a stone in Nevada that is upright stone, and I'm illustrating here. I've made replicas of it, and I have shown it in public schools and places, especially here. And what it is, it's called the Stone Abdel. It's located east of Reno, overlooking the Truckee River. And it's an area that's called the Court of Antiquity. But this stone is very singular there. There's no other stone like it. It's an upright stone coming out of the ground, maybe 6 feet from the ground up, like that. And it is inscribed in a way that identifies it. It's a kind of a vertical gnome instead of a horizontal gnome where the shadow goes around, and this one it's up and down. And that the solstices are recorded by way of it. Most people know of something, the obelisk. The obelisk is kind of a Greek Egyptian, like that. That's a dressed stone for the same purpose. In Egypt, it was covered with gold in order to show the sunlight. The Egyptian name for the same stone is called Ben, or it means Bel speaks. So both the Egyptians and the Celts have Bel. Bel is the Mark Savul of Gran, who is the sun, or the effulgent principle. And Bel is her sunlight, basically. And that's what's taking place with it. On the stone itself, it registers from the summer solstice, to the winter solstice. So now we are at the height of the winter solstice, where the stone, we are saying theoretically, is totally in the dark. And at this time, the winter eagle comes up from the underworld, comes up and touches his feather or his wing and starts the light on the stone there. And then from then on, all the way into the summer, then it will be in the light. And when it's in the light, it will be the glory of Bel. The inscription on it actually is reading Yah U Bel. And Yah, that is this form in an X this way, is the diphthong, or the sliding vowel for Yah, spelled Y-A-I-A or J-A, Yah. And we're pronouncing it that way to make it distinct here. And this figure up here is actually from an alphabet in Celtic Gaul. It's very, very interesting that I was able to locate that. It stands for Kalman. Kalman in Gaelic means dove. And the dove is the queen of the moon, Hu. And the queen of the moon governs the solar year. And also that this is an ancient formula pervasive in the ancient Mediterranean as Yahoo. Yahoo. The words that have been modernly made out of Jehovah or Yahweh have been derived actually from the original formula, which this is. And the idea of those words being sort of teased out of these letters is a bit misleading and erroneous in that way. The actual U sound is the vowel in the ancient world is the center, and that is the goddess or the great mother or the life giver in that. So Yahoo. In the word God that English and Northern Europeans have taken in as God is coming from the Hebrew vowel letter for Yud, Yud. And that originally had an aspirate, Yud, like that. And that's what's been translated now into God. It was the translator's device, actually. It was not vernacular. It's been made vernacular in that way. And in Hebrew, and I actually picked up on this when I was a student in Mexico, and I had learned there that the Catholics coming there recognized that the Indians were speaking Hebrew, and it is evident. And so Yod is hand there. So up here, if you go up here, this is Cherokee. The Cherokee for hand, it means the life giver, and it is Yua. Yua. It's all vowel, Yua, and that is the life giver. And in Mexico, the ancient murals and things have the same thing. They have the same thing. And here, this is spelling in the Ogham, BL for Bel. And I've already said Bel is the sunlight. When this is completely in the light, it would be the glory of Bel. The way that this is written with a Yah, U, means exalt, to exalt the moon, to exalt the moon, which is Hu. And the tetragrammation that these Jehovah and these words have been made out of, it is misleading because of the Yah, and you have the aspirate, Yah, and you have a neutral vowel, U, Yahu. That's what this is, Yahu. And in Cherokee, very, very close to it, Yahu, there. And also, all of this has a Navajo way of saying it, the same thing. At least one scholar has recognized that the Navajos have taken into, quote, he said, into their tribal lore, this Celtic culture and language. The language of the Navajos show that it's rooted in western Turkestan, and their neighbors, the Apaches, the same. So these people are immigrants. They're immigrants in relatively recent centuries, and they have been aboriginalized by the Americans. Now in the Navajo, this Stone Abdel is now called Sky-Reaching Rock. And in the Sky-Reaching Rock, as this, I forgot to mention, that there's a perfect bowl towards the top of this. And this figure is carved on the lip overlooking the bowl. You know, it must be, a gallon or so bowl. Perfectly shaped bowl that gives us the sky-reaching rock, and that this is the lake at the top. In the medicine man, who's the Hatali or chanter for this chant way, he actually physically he makes this out of clay. And that's where I have a replica here, right here, of the sky-reaching rock. And I'm going to show you how it operates the same. And along with it, I have two Navajo carvings of Gye. Again, the Navajos have a Celtic ring in their language, so that the Celtic for immortals or gods, Jia, in Navajos, Jia. Very, very similar in that. So I have those there so you can see what impersonators look like in the Navajo ritual. And so here, that is the Navajo that the Hatali uses for this. Now, in the Navajo thing I'm telling you is that a supernatural is born out of this water, and that's what he's called, born for water, or child born of the water. Tabatsutsini is his Navajo name, born of the water. And so when he is born out of the water overflows. That's why I have this here to replicate that it flows out and gathers as a pool at the bottom. And then Coyote is kind of the midwife in this. And Coyote wades into that pool and picks him up and raises him up, in his hand. And that's what he is holding here. Yawanka, meaning to raise up, to lift up. And both the name, for hand and hold, are going to resonate the same way as aweya. And here, this shield piece here, this is the animation of this. I should mention, because I'll continue this talk next week, Born for Water has this as his symbol. And it's on rocks and everywhere over there in Arizona, that this is his symbol, and his symbol means, the shinyan, a shinyan on his hair. It's a woman's symbol that he wears. He is her son there. And this is that when it's animated, showing how potent, that it is. So this is a chant from a chant way for what I've been telling you about. Now, born of water, from the water opening, the live turquoise stands in my body, and monsters in vain attack me. In a dangerous world you are traveling. Now, born of water I am, as I go about. From the water opening I am he who goes about. A live turquoise in my body stands as I go about. Now, emergence from its very rim I come. Now, first woman's home from the center of its room I come. Home tapered from its center, upon itself has returned. So now, from below emergence place, he lifts me up. Now with me he upholds. His magic with me he upholds. His magic with me he upholds. From below the emergence he upholds with me. That's what it means. He's upholding him. That's what the words are. Okay.